What's happening, everybody? It's Friday. We had weigh-ins today for UFC Vegas 74, Kai Kara France versus Amir Albazi in the main event. Everybody made weight. Everybody looked pretty good. We didn't look like we had any deaths on the scales today. We didn't have any missed weight. So yeah, we're ready to go with the full slate, which is always a good thing. It gives us more opportunities, more spots to pick from here. But before we get started, a big congratulations to my partner on Stat Diggers, DFS by the Numbers. Him and his wife announced that they are pregnant, and it is going to be a boy. I've been sitting on this news about them being pregnant for like almost a month now, and I've been trying not to let it slip. I did not let it slip. I'm very proud of that, I want you to know. But I'm also very proud of Brady and his wife starting a family together. I know that they're going to be great parents, and I'm really looking forward to hearing about when that baby is born. And then we'll be we're thinking the light heavyweight champion of the UFC by 2046 we're gonna say. He'll be a young champion, but with champion parents, what are you gonna do? You're gonna have a champion kid. So congratulations, DFS by the Numbers and his wife, and congratulations to us, you guys. We cashed the Greasy 4-leg parlay last week. It was oh Christ, I don't even remember what it was at this point, but I do know that we got the Anthony Hernandez money line. We got I think it was like violence in the main event or some shit like that. No, I think the last leg was Anthony Hernandez. We had Gilbert Urbina's money line in there. I don't know. I forget, but it cashed it like almost like a little, maybe a little bit better than plus 600. We'll take it. We're trying to make it 2 in a row. Coming off the break week here, so we've had a week to kind of like relax a little bit. I know that I've personally been very busy. Let me share my screen with you guys here. Not remove, add the stream. There we go. And show you what I've been working on. Actually, I think I've already got it up here. So this is the new matchup template, which is going to be available for $10 a month on your Uncle Weezy's Patreon here. And what it's doing is it's not only giving us the stats for each fighter, but it's comparing those stats to the divisional benchmarks, which are actually programmed into the sheet. So now you know whether a person's output in significant strikes, distance strikes, clinch strikes, ratios and differentials, takedowns, control time, whether it's above or below average based on the color that the number is presented in. So like for instance, with Arman Sarukian here, he gets 3.3 takedowns per 15 minutes and he averages attempting 9.9. And it, because those are good numbers to have, 3.3 takedowns per 15 minutes. He averages almost 10 per 15 minutes. He's an active wrestler, but now you're going to know how much above or below average for the division Arman Sarukian's stats are. So right here, we know that he's getting 3.3 takedowns per 15 minutes, but we also know that that's 1.76 more than the divisional average, and we're color coding it in green because it's above average. This is a whole new layer of analysis now that is added into this spreadsheet. I'm trying to upgrade everything that I do on my Patreon because it's the people that support me on my Patreon that really allow me to be able to do this full time. And it is a full-time job, everybody. Handicapping 12 to 15 fights every week, watching tape on those fighters, writing up, breakdowns on every fight, doing the stats and getting them out almost 3 weeks in advance every single week. Updating the databases, updating the benchmarks, updating the programming on the spreadsheets, about 10 hours every week on camera. It's a lot of work. So I'm trying to really upgrade the Patreon and make it as good of a product as possible. So as many of you who watch my videos will be able to support me by me giving you some of the best analytics for the best prices out there. So I really appreciate everybody that's on the Patreon already. Got almost 60 of you on there. And I'm really thankful for each and every one of you that supports my work, that hits the thumbs up button, that hits the subscribe button, that watches the videos, that tails the bets. And speaking of tailing bets, let's talk about this card because we got to get together. We got to find 4 spots here. And you guys let me know if you don't like any of these in the chat. Let me know what you're thinking here. But we'll go through all 4 legs after we kind of go through everybody in the chat here. My guy John is joining us, and he is watching, seeing what's going on. Matthew Chalk saying, oi. And we got Brandon Ortega in the room saying, Weezy. What's up, Brandon? Good to see you in here, man. He's saying congrats to DFS by the numbers. My man, Brandon Stelly, $4.99 donation. Ring a ding ding, you guys, supporting his Uncle Weezy, supporting the YouTube channel. Much, much love to you, Brandon Stelly. And Brandon Stelly is a big fan of Willie Catch Santos. Can't wait to see him fight. I love his pressure. I love his durability. I love his chin. Everything about this dude is the kind of fighter that I really like to support. I think that this line has gotten a little bit out of whack, but it's not gotten so far out of whack that I feel like I need to bet the Munoz side. Really looking forward to seeing Willie Cat in action. Thank you so much for the donation, Brennan. We got Brennan saying, congrats to DFS by the numbers. Mind Your Own saying, oi, and what up, Weezy? What's up, Mind Your Own? Thank you for hanging out. Jared Curry saying, let's stack these tickets so our pockets look like Jake Collier. Fat pockets, Jared. That's always the goal here. We got Uncle Keith saying, oi, let's go, Weezy. Can't wait for the big maze race. I'm taking you at minus 200. Yes, for those of you who didn't tune in to Stat Diggers this week and didn't tune into the Me on Liam show, I think I can beat Dante Mays in a 50-yard dash. I think that dude is slow. He looks like he's drinking cough syrup before every fight or smoking a big fat joint. One or the other ways, I think that even at my advanced age and even with my fucking fat ass and big Clydesdale-like legs, that I could beat him in a 50-yard dash. And I'm not a fast man. Even when I was playing sports constantly as a teenager, never fast. Always one of the slowest dudes on the team. My baseball coach used to say, "Get the piano off your back." Whenever I was running down to first base, it was like I was running in sand. I'm slower than shit. Still, I'm beating Dante Mays. That's my prediction. What's up, Uncle Keith? We got DFS by the numbers in the room. He is going live in like 6 minutes for his weekly live stream. So I'm going to be trying to get done by then so that we can all go over there and see what's going on with him. But yeah, congratulations, brother. Can't wait to hear more about what's going on with you and the wife and the family that's going to be growing here for you. So congratulations, brother. Tone Miggins in the room. Pub Sports Radio in the house. What's up, Tone? We got Brandon saying, let's stack in case our teammate tags our wife. Poor Tim Elliott, man. That's just so rough, dude. Kyle Kelly saying, hey, Unc, what's your preference for flapjacks? Normal? Or do you like stuff in there like chocolate chips or blueberries? So I normally eat them more normal, but I'm a huge fan of blueberries. So yeah, blueberry pancakes is something that I'm never turning down. And if you're stacking blueberry pancakes, it means that you had a big day. Brandon Ortega saying, slap that like button. I agree 100% with him. Express saying that's an awesome spreadsheet. Great work, Uncle Weezy. Thank you, man. I appreciate it. I do put a lot of work into this, you guys. And, like I say, the more work I put into the Patreon, the more likelihood that more of you will support the work and the more likelihood that I'll be able to pay my bills by doing what I do every week, which is tough. It's actually, I don't pay my bills doing this. I need to hustle a little bit outside of what I do here, but the goal is to do this full time, only this, provide the best statistical analysis possible for you guys so that we are all better gamblers. So I appreciate you, Express. Cole Stein, what's up, dude? And Express saying, I want to get a hold of that spreadsheet and make some visuals for it. Dude, that would be cool, man, because it needs to. I know it's a little bit busy. I know it's a lot to look at. It's a lot to take in all at once. And I would like to strip this out and do a presentation with tail of the tape as one slide. Pro and UFC experience is another slide. Finish stats is another slide. Significant striking offense and defense is a slide. Offensive distance striking is a slide and defensive on the same slide. And the clinch and ground is a slide. The grappling is a slide. The control time is a slide. And the strength of schedule is a slide. And the last 5 is a slide. And do it as a PowerPoint or do it as a website. That's something that's going to be one of the next steps that I'm looking to do here to, really kind of try to be the market for UFC statistics for gamblers. Yeah, that would be really cool to get some visuals for this. Ohio State saying mini Oliveira season. Yeah, dude. Daniel Willie Cat Santos trains with Oliveira and he fights like him, man. Arlovsky by split. Hey, man, why not, dude? Why not? There is nothing wrong with an Arlovsky by split bet. Weezy, is anyone on this card getting a proper rogering? Dude, maybe Alex Caceres. That's Uncle Weezy's ass shaving of the week is Daniel Pineda. But dude, I'm predicting something only like 2 finishes on this card. It's crazy. And G Funk saying, Scotty B in the house, shout out to Weezy. What's up, man? Thank you for hanging out here. Appreciate you. But let's get into these bets so I can get off the screen before DFS by the numbers starts his. So we're going to start with leg number 1. And it is going to be the guy that I would absolutely wax in a race. My guy, Don'Tale Mayes, going up against Andrei Arlovsky. And what we're looking here is this over 2.5 rounds at minus 190. That is a 65% implied probability. And only 42% of heavyweight fights go over 2.5 rounds. So we're overpaying by 23.26% when we compare this line to the benchmark for the division. So when we see that big of a number in this column right here, we know we need to see big numbers down here. We need to see that these fighters are going over 2.5 rounds at a much higher rate than what the division does, to the point where it's almost an outlier. And here we are, right? 16 of 22 fights since the year 2013 for Arlovsky have went over 2.5 rounds. And for Don'Tale Mayes, it's 5 of 6. You add that up, that's 21 of 28 fights finishing or going over 2.5 rounds for these guys. So we got a 28 fight sample size. And in that big fat sample size, we've got a 75% combined over 2.5 rate, which is 10% better than this 65% that we're paying on this line. And these guys are going over 2.5 rounds at a 32.75% rate, higher than what the division does. So it just goes to show you that it's not just Arlovsky that doesn't really have any finishing equity. It's Don'Tale Mayes as well. They both fight slow. They're both fairly low output. And especially Arlovsky is very happy to stay at a distance striking range and try to pot shot and outpoint his opponent. And that's the style of fight that I'm looking for here. And if we get that style of fight, I think that this one cruises over 2.5 rounds and we cash the first leg of this Greasy 4-legger. So let's get all that out of there. And then we're going to go through this one by one. So we're going to start with fight props here. Or I'm sorry, no, for fight lines. We're going to fight lines here and we're looking for Arlovsky versus Mayes. And we're going to go 2.5 at minus 190. So that's leg number 1. Leg number 2 is going to be the Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov money line at minus 115. And it looks like that's money is coming in on Abu here. And now he's minus 120. So we're going to get a little bit worse price on this than what I was thinking we were going to get because that line is moving. Money is coming in on Nurmagomedov. Okay, so Abu is a fantastic minute winner, everybody. And the thing about Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos is he's a big swinger. He throws with power. He puts a lot into his strikes, but he's also got that range management where he will use that capoeira style to throw some exciting spinning kicks from way outside. Everything that Elizeu does in the striking leads me to believe that he's going to be easy for Abu to take down if Abu doesn't like how it's going on the feet. We see a 62% takedown defense here for Elizeu Zaleski dos Santos, pretty far below average for the division. He's allowing 2 takedowns per 15 minutes. And if you give 2 takedowns to Abu Nurmagomedov, there's a chance that you're not going to get back up if he gets you down. And that could just be the 2 rounds that wins the fight here. I do think that Elizeu Zaleski has a lot more finishing potential than Abu Nurmagomedov, but I don't want to count on a finish at this level. Finishes are hard to get. So I like Abu's minute winning. He's a lot more accurate at distance than Zaleski dos Santos. He's a lot more defensively responsible. He lands more distance strikes per minute than Elizeu does, and he absorbs about the same amount. Elizeu throws a lot more volume than his opponents. Abu throws less, but with him throwing less and being 52% accurate and 72% on defense, I feel like Abu doesn't even necessarily need to get takedowns to win this fight. And if that's the case, you guys, he might look minus 200 here. So I know that there's a lot of people on the Zaleski Dos Santos side here, but I don't like that 1.5 year layoff for him. I don't like the PED suspension. I don't like the fact that it took him 1.5 years to come back from a fight that he won, running away against a really good opponent in Benoit Saint-Denis. So Abu, this is the cheapest we're ever going to get in Nurmagomedov in this betting game that we do. So I'm going with him as the second line of this one. It's now minus 120 instead of minus 115. So that's the second leg of this parlay. Leg 3 is going to be the Caceres Pineda fight doesn't go to decision at minus 185. So we're going to go up here now to fight props and fight to go the distance. And we're going to go down here to the second to last fight. No, minus 185. That brings our parlay up to plus 331. And if we go to the prop template here, we're going to see Daniel Pineda has had 34 fights outside the UFC, and 31 of them have finished inside the distance. That is over 90% of his fights. And 5 of his 7 UFC fights scheduled for 3 rounds have finished inside the distance. 36 of 41. We're talking about a guy in Pineda who is the definition of a kill or be killed fighter. 100% of his wins inside the distance. A good chunk of his losses inside the distance, over 50%. He's getting older. He's a PED user. He throws heavy leg kicks, and he's a very opportunistic submission grappler. The way that Pineda fights, he's going to slow down later on in the fight, and he's going to be there's going to be the potential that his opponent gets a finish if Pineda is not able to get his opponent out of there in the first round and a half. So this is just one of those things that the numbers don't show that they love it, but I don't care because it's a Daniel Pineda fight. And the stylistic matchup is just as important as the data. And in some cases, it's a lot more important. And in some cases, it's not more important. But in this case, I'm betting violence here in this one, and minus 185 for leg number 3 brings us up to like plus 300, and that brings us to the main event. And we're going to bet violence in the main event as well. The fight doesn't go to decision at minus 120 for leg number 4 in the main event. So that brings the parlay up to plus 690 here. Kai Kara-France has had 3 fights scheduled for 5 rounds in his pro career, and none of them have went the distance. Amir Albazi has never even been scheduled for 5 rounds. We got 2 guys with good finishing rates, especially at the UFC level here. Let me get this over. There we go. Kai Kara-France, 66% finish rate in his losses, and a 28% finish rate in his wins. Albazi's finished 3 of his 4 UFC wins, and he's finished 87.5% of his professional wins. So I like the fact that we've seen Kara-France finished in more than half of his losses, and that Amir Albazi is a very good finisher. In addition to that, I love on the Albazi side that this guy's never even been scheduled for 5 rounds. So this is going to be a completely new experience for him. So seeing that we've got 2 fighters who have never been 5 rounds in their career, both of these guys are pretty good finishers. Kai Kara-France, a lot of power. We see that this guy he's landed 6 knockdowns in 10 UFC fights. So that's the stuff that finishes are made of. And Amir Albazi, black belt in Brazilian. Well, I don't know if he's a black belt, but he's definitely a very good submission grappler and an excellent wrestler. So if he can get this fight to the ground, he's going to put Kai Kara-France in positions where he's likely to be finished. Neither of these guys ever been 5 rounds, so I think it's a no-brainer here. And we can still hedge out if we catch the first 3 legs here and just get out, throw a unit on the fight goes, for instance, and get back your original investment, or just let it all ride. But it says plus 705 here. It's not quite there. It's around plus 697, plus 690 right now on DraftKings Sportsbook. But that's what we're going to do, you guys. Over 2.5 rounds for Andrei Arlovski versus Dante Mays. The money line for Abu Bakar Nurmagomedov. Fight does not go to decision. For Alex Caceres versus Pineda, fight does not go to decision. For Kai Kara France versus Albazi. Plus 690. Let's cash it, everybody. Let's see. We got Eric Cote is in the room saying Arlovski under 0.5 takedowns landed minus 400. That's pretty juiced, but he doesn't shoot takedowns. It'll probably hit. My guy Patrick in the room. Oh, what's up, Patrick? Good to see you hanging out in here, brother. We got Ruthless Soda Pop is saying, is Daniel Santos a lock, Uncle Weezy? No, he's not a lock. No such thing as a lock in this sport. I think that Munoz might be able to wrestle him and win 2 rounds. He's got excellent Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So if he gets some advantageous positions, maybe gets a Santos who's back, he can win some minutes there. There is a potential, for Munoz to win some minutes with his grappling in this spot. But I like Santos to break him late. Backstab is saying Pineda said it himself. I'm either going to knock him out or submit him. This isn't going past 2 rounds. Either that or I'm getting knocked out. That was his exact words in an interview. And yeah, you could believe Daniel Pineda when he says that too. I mean, there are a lot of fighters will say that shit, and then you can look at their record and know that they're fucking lying, but not Pineda, man. Pineda, I mean, he's a G, dude. He's an OG of the sport, over 40 professional fights, 100% of his wins inside the distance. So yeah, I think that is the probability parlay this week that Brady and I put together was the over 2.5 for Arlovski. The fight doesn't go for Pineda. So we're counting on that leg for sure, man. Jester saying, let's get it, Weezy. What's up, Jester? Subhuman Gaucho saying, good day, gentlemen. And Uncle Keith saying, I'm liking this one, Weezy. Let's get it. Let's cash this one, you guys. So let's stack cash tickets like flapjacks for UFC Vegas 74. I'll be probably on the Pub Sports Radio live stream while these fights are going on for a while tomorrow. And then I'm going to head out of town tomorrow night. I'll be back Sunday for Stat Diggers. And we'll see you guys for Stat Diggers on Pub Sports Radio, probably at the usual time, maybe an hour later, depending on how things go. But either way, see you on Sunday. Let's all stack them high on Saturday. Enjoy the fights. And join the Patreon, you guys. Support my work. It is much appreciated. And I'm going to be giving you guys the best possible analytics going forward. So thank you guys all for watching. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. Hit that subscribe on your way out if you haven't already. And we will talk to you soon. Good afternoon.